My parents always watched the local news. We didn't watch the ABC, CBS, NBC, the national news. We watched the local news. We watched Channel 5, KTLA, Channel 5. And the local news lingers longer on local stories. You get to know more stuff about a little bit of local politics and things like that, local stuff. Well, one year when I was in high school, they started talking about this guy, the Night Stalker. This guy was a killer. He was a serial killer, as a matter of fact. And I probably shouldn't tell you, but I to this day, I'm terrified of the thought of serial killers. I lay down, not every night, but many nights. It's always a thought. Better make sure I'm aware that there might be a serial killer around. And I think the reason this happens is because of the Night Stalker. All over the news, you had mayors talking about him in little towns and all around Los Angeles. He was killing people on the west side, he was killing people on the east side, he was killing people north and south, all over the place. And they talked about him at length on the news, on the local news especially, like I say. And I never read the paper before except for the comics, and I started reading the paper, these Night Stalker stories. Every time I saw the headline, The Night Stalker, I read the story, and it's terrible, horrible stuff. And so I started locking the windows because the news, Channel 5, Hal Fishman says, lock your windows and doors. This is just like out of a movie. Lock your windows and doors, people. So that's what I did. I was locking the windows and doors every night for a few nights. One night, I'm locking the windows and doors around the house, and we had these big windows in the living room, and you slide the big window down and you locked it up. And my father was on the phone, and he looks at me and he's talking on the phone and he says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm locking the windows. I'm locking the windows because of the Night Stalker." And he starts laughing and he talks into the phone to his friend. My son, you're not going to believe this. My son is locking the windows because the Night Stalker. And I tell you, I hear laughing from the phone, and he starts laughing, and whatever. And so I continue on my rounds of locking the windows, checking the back door. He comes back after the phone call. So you really are you really locking the window? Are you really scared of this Night Stalker? So I'm not scared of the Night Stalker, but the guy in the news, Hal Fishman, he says lock the windows and doors. When the news is telling you that, the mayor, the Bell Gardens and all these other places, lock your doors and windows, people. Maybe we should lock the windows. And he just laughed and laughed. He thought it was very funny. I personally think he said something that he's going to leave his window alone, leave it open. And I explained to him that I'd read in the newspaper that some guy had woken up and then the guy was sitting on his chest awake and he stabbed him in the face or something. My father assured me that this Night Stalker, in fatherly advice, now he stopped with the mocking and he tells me, to sort of, make me feel better. He tells me this Night Stalker stuff, he's 1,000 miles away. This is all in the news. Don't get so worked up about it, please. I said, don't be an idiot, anyway. So he's trying to be nice. He's trying to tell me, and I shouldn't be so nervous about everything. So this is fine. And the night ends. The next night, I still go ahead and I lock all the doors and windows. And he looks to my mother and he asks me, he goes, "Do you know why he's doing this?" He goes, "Yeah, we're locking the windows because the Night Stalker, because the Night Stalker's out there." And he's like, "Geez, you too? Come on, what are you?" And again, he's mocking us, making fun of us. And he takes the reins in hand as the head of the household. He explains to my mother and myself, "I got to tell you, don't be silly. Don't get all worked up. This guy's 1,000 miles away. This is all in the news. It's all, it's not happening. Relax." I'm just going to cut to the chase here. The Night Stalker murderer, this guy, he had poked people's eyeballs out with a spoon, I'd read. He made soup out of a lady. The Night Stalker killer. He's still in Los Angeles County Jail, I believe, right at this minute, or he's in he's here in Los Angeles in the jail system locally. This guy, I don't even want to say his name. My father assures me he's 1,000 miles away, of course. And one night on the news, Hal Fishman, hooray, it's a big celebration. They caught the Night Stalker. Hooray, they caught him. It was a great big deal. Did you hear? One of our neighbors came over, a big heavy-set lady, Mary Jo. She came knocking. She's banging the door. They caught the Night Stalker. Hooray! We're so happy. They caught the Night Stalker. Where did they catch him? They caught him 20 minutes away from my house. Thanks, Dad. Happy Halloween.